The Smash roster is one of my favourite parts of the entire Smash series, with the inclusions of new fighters every installment. Never knowing who's going to get in next, some fighters don't make it in, either being deconfirmed from Mii Costumes or another character from that company taking the spot. Welcome to A New Foe Has Appeared, where we talk about ideas for fighters that could possibly happen in the future. I'm your host, BB8 from BB8's house. Let's get into it. Up next.
Welcome, warriors. I'd like to thank you for joining me here today, and for your bravery in accepting this fateful task. I officially appoint you Hyrule's champions, and bestow upon you this sacred garb. That blue is a symbol of the royal family, one that has been passed down for countless generations. Those garments you now wear were all crafted by my daughter, Zelda.
That's right. The champions of Hyrule from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is who we're going to talk about today. I actually wanted to talk about this character since the first episode of A New Foe Has Appeared back in 2019. Back when Toy Story 4 was only in theaters. So, the reason I actually wanted to talk about this character is because if you think about it, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate hasn't had a rep from Breath of the Wild, which is kinda shocking. Because we have reps from ARMS, Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and Fire Emblem Three Houses. Where's Breath of the Wild in there? So, I only wanted to talk about a character from Breath of the Wild because Breath of the Wild is such a good game, which it has a stage, the Great Plateau, but it didn't come with a fighter. Like, see that Incineroar was a fighter introduced in Ultimate, but there was no Sun and Moon stage. Like, they could have put a Sun and Moon stage in there with Decidueye, but I don't see Decidueye getting in because of Incineroar, but I personally want Decidueye in. But if we got the Champions of Hyrule, Breath of the Wild will actually have a rep. Now let's get into the movesets, shall we? So to start off, Urbosa's moveset. So for Urbosa, her neutral special is Urbosa's Fury. Urbosa would use her Fury attack, which can let down bolts of lightning, can only happen 3 times per stock. The longer charged, the longer and powerful the lightning is. The power has 3 charges of power. The first does simple 1 bolt, the second does single digit of multiple, and the third does 10 lightning bolts. When Urbosa's Fury isn't ready, she cannot use her blade to attack. So the reason we're doing it 3 times per stock, because in Breath of the Wild, when you use Urbosa's Fury 3 times, and the abilities for each champion, except for Mipha's Grace, you'd have to wait a certain amount of time for it to recharge. And its side special being Perfect Parry, Urbosa backflips and anyone caught will be slowed down momentarily, having Urbosa do a perfect dodge. Then she can do a perfect guard attack. If failed, she would swing her sword like a counter down special with electricity. Her up special being Gerudo Spin. Urbosa would spin her sword around in a circle and fly upwards with electricity. It would be the same as Link's up special. The down special is pretty much the same for all 4 champions, but I wanted to make this one unique from Pokemon Trainer and Pyra and Mithra. Similar to Shulk, where you could swap between powers and stuff, you can swap between the 4 champions. The champion you're currently using is Grey. For example, if you're using Urbosa cannot be selected. But the other 3 champions you can swap, but only gives you 7 seconds to decide which champion to choose, then it automatically picks a champion for you. And all 4 champions have their own individual final smashes. Urbosa would use her sword and swing upwards, similar to Hero's final smash, while saying "halt and face me." Then a cutscene would occur where the fighters caught would fall into Gerudo Town, where they are attacked by the Gerudos, while Link uses Urbosa's Fury and Princess Zelda throws remote bombs. Then Urbosa would charge her Divine Beast up and shoot a laser while saying, "Unlike you traitors, I prefer to face my enemies head on." That's Urbosa's moveset. For Mipha, her neutral special is Water Trident. Mipha charges her trident up with some water spray, releasing the button would have her jab slightly then outward, similar to the one of Mii Sword Fighter's neutral specials. The side special being Water Tornado, Mipha would charge her trident, releasing it would have her spin and summon a water tornado that would gravity pull her, but later become a puddle of water. And the up special being Waterfall, Mipha would fly upwards while riding a waterfall similar to Squirtle's up special. The down special's the same. And for the final smash, unlike Urbosa, where her Divine Beast is Naboris, Mipha is Veruta. Mipha would use her light scale trident and summon a water laser, similar to Min Min's final smash, while saying full impact. Then a cutscene would occur where the fighters caught would fall into Zora's domain, where they are attacked by the Zoras, while champions Link heals with Mipha's grace, meaning that she would be healed, and Princess Zelda freezes their fall with a Cryonis. Then Mipha would charge her Divine Beast and shoot up a laser while saying, "With grace I cannot fall." For Revali, the neutral special is Revali's Gale. A giant gust of wind surrounds Revali as he ascends straight upwards into the air. This gust of wind has gravitation's pull that pulls opponents upwards for a string of damage before launching them at the peak height, and also will nullify projectiles that come into contact with the gale. The gale covers a large distance of air, about the same as Sonic's up special, and instantly allows Revali to perform aerial attacks. The final smash being Great Eagle Bow Volley. Revali takes aim with his Great Eagle Bow, can be held down to aim in different directions, and releases a volley of 5 fast arrows in a direction he is aiming. The arrows don't deal as much knockback, but are fast and hard to dodge, and can rack up damage from afar very quickly. The up special being Rito Ascension, Revali uses the winds of the Rito to ascend high into the air, turning into a sort of tornado corkscrew. Revali soars upwards at a diagonal recovery, rapidly spinning with his beak. Facing upwards, you also can control the path of the recovery. The recovery works similar to Meta Knight's side special. The down special's the same as before. And the final smash being Divine Beast Meadow. Revali would use his archer and shoot a bow similar to Dark Pit's final smash, while saying watch and learn. Then a cutscene would occur where the fighters caught would fall into Hyrule Mountains, where they're attacked by Doritos, while the champion Link falls down and down thrusts after letting go of his Gale, and Princess Zelda traps them in a stasis and revealing. Then Revali would charge up his Divine Beast and shoot a laser while saying, look at those numbers, let's send them flying at once. And finally, for the last of the champions, being Daruk. The neutral B being Stone Smasher, Daruk would charge his Stone Smasher, releasing the button would have him do a spin attack. His side special being Cobble Crusher, Daruk would use the Cobble Crusher, charge it up and smash the ground, similar to Violet's down special, but in the air. His up special being Magnesis Rune. Daruk would throw his Boulder Breaker upwards and use Magnesis to float it upwards. After hitting the edge, Daruk would climb up to where the breaker touches, and the down special is the same once again. And for the final smash being Divine Beast Rudania. Daruk would use his Cobble Crusher and summon boulders similar to Terry's final smash. While saying dodge this, then a cutscene would occur where the fighters caught would fall into Goron mines, where they are attacked by the Gorons, while Champion Link fries him with Daruk's protection flames, while Zelda drops boulders by using Magnesis. Then Daruk would charge his Divine Beast up and shoot out the laser while saying, ah yeah, plenty more where that came from. So that's all of the champion's movesets done. This is what the HUD would look like in battle. Each of the champions getting given 3 orbs, similar to Banjo and Kazooie's Golden Feather move, where you can only use them once per stock. Mipha only has 1 because it involves healing. Staying true to the original games, Urbosa can use Urbosa's Fury, Mipha can use Mipha's Grace, Revali could use Revali's Gale, and Daruk can use Daruk's Protection. For the alts, for Mipha, the standard outfit, the Sage's gear, colours based on Ruto, Heroes of Hyrule gear, the colours based on Link, Future Champion based on Sidon, Zora Queen, colours based on Queen Rutella, Zora Rockstar, colours based on My Cow, Enemy of the Zora, colours based on the classic Zora enemies, and each champion has this, the false champion dark costume. But for Revali, has the same as Mipha again, but with the difference is the future champion being based on Tiba. With the Rito Postman, colours based on Quill, Rito Village Caretaker, red colours based on various Rito, Rito Village Merchant, the black colours based on various Rito, and to Urbosa, Her future champions based on Riju, Evil Gerudo based on Ganondorf, Sorceress Gerudo based on Twin Rover, and Desert Vi with white colours based on the Gerudo residents, and ending the alts on Daruk, carrying on from future champion Yunobo, Dancing Goron colours based on the Dancing Goron on Oracle series, Arch Enemy, the colours based on King Dodongo, Goron Hero, colours based on Damani, and of course the false champion. For the Kirby hat, for Mipha, Kirby gets Mipha's Zora hair head, along with the copy of Mipha's Grace. For Revali, Kirby gets Revali's beak and hair along with Revali's Gale. The Kirby hat for Urbosa, Kirby also gets Urbosa's signature hair along with Urbosa's Fury. But the Kirby hat for Daruk, for the last time, Kirby gets a copy of Daruk's hair and beard with the copy ability Daruk's protection. For the Punch-Out stage, it's Zora the main champion for Mipha, Rito Tribe champion for Revali, champion of the Gerudo for Urbosa, and the Great Goron champion for Daruk. The classic mode would be called the Champions of the Calamity. They don't all have their own classic modes each, but just because they have their own separate final smashes doesn't mean they have their own separate classic modes. Because like Pokemon Trainer, they'll have the same classic mode. The Champions of Hyrule's classic mode would have them face off in demonic and evil enemies representing villains from Breath of the Wild as they prepare to fight Calamity Ganon. Round 1 being all 8 of the Koopalings, a reference to the Bokoblins. Round 2 would be 6 Greninjas, a reference to the Lizalfos. Round 3, a Mii Sword Fighter with the Yiga outfits. Round 4 being Dark Meta Knight, a reference to Master Koga. Round 5, Giant Dark Samus and Giant Roy. One appears when one is defeated, reference to Wind Blight Ganon and Fire Blight Ganon. And round 6 being Giant Pikachu and Giant Corrin. One appears when one is defeated, a reference to Thunder Blight Ganon and Water Blight Ganon, and the boss fight is Ganon. For the spirits, Urbosa, Mipha, Revali, and Daruk are, of course, the fighter spirits, but they probably take that artwork from Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, since they're already spirits in the game. So the spirits would be, ignore the fighter part, Sidon, Tiba, Riju, Yunobo, Monk Maz Koshia, Hetsu, Great Fairies, the Old Man, which is enhanceable to King Rome, Calamity Ganon, Age of Calamity, Astor, Age of Calamity, Cass, as well as Robbie and Pura. The stage would be Sheikah Shrine from The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. The home stage of the champions has them battle in the shrine at the Great Sheikah Monks, a flat stage with no bottom blast zone, but right and left upwards blast zones. The layout of the stage is very simple and eloquent, and in the background, Monk Maz Koshia is seen in a meditative state watching the battle unfold. As the battle continues, you can see the Monk Maz Koshia occasionally move his skeletal hand, and he summons trials for the fighters. Small scout guardians would arise from the background and take aim at the stage. With the Guardian laser target aiming at fighters, the Guardians attempt to fire heavy damage dealing lasers at the fighters as the battle continues, until a short time has passed in which the Guardians will shut down and disappear via Sheikah teleportation. Monk Maz Koshia will also occasionally summon and send out Sheikah orbs towards the battlefield, which can be used as heavy throwing items. And the Mii costumes, being Monk Maz Koshia, the hat, Barbarian helmet, Barbarian gear for Mii sword fighter, Darkling's hat for any, Darkling's gear for Mii sword fighter uses the Royal Guard sword, Zelda's wig, and Zelda's champion's garb, Mii Brawler. And the music included with the Champions of Hyrule will be a mix of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, and the non-released Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel. So guys, what did you think of the Champions of Hyrule? I know this was quite a long one, but I wanted to talk about the Champions of Hyrule for a long time. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like this video, and turn your notifications on so you don't miss another new Foes Appeared episode ever again. And don't forget to also suggest a fighter in the comments that I could do a Who Will Prevail for in the future. And for this week's Who Will Prevail, this is the Who Will Prevail for this episode. One, you'd probably know if you've done the Emissary, and the other is quite recent. That's it for the Champions of Hyrule. BB-8 out.